Hello, everyone. I want to talk today about male sexuality and how it's viewed briefly by women, especially when it's independent of women as a whole. Many men go in their own way. I think make the mistake of assuming that every last MGTOW is to be a bona fide MGTOW or a real MGTOW. Kind of avoids women 100% altogether. That isn't the case with me. For a long time now, I've said that I'm still involved sexually with women, and that hasn't changed. But I want to relate to you guys a story. I quell mother need, I guess, sexually, and I've talked about mother need, and if you don't know what that is, look into my previous videos discussing it. I don't think I have the time or desire to go into and explain the motivations behind mother need and the kind of intrinsic need that most men, or a lot of men, or maybe even all men on some level, have to feel validated by women. And I think one of the ways that I mitigate that, or repress that, or suppress that, is in the dominant sexual role as a man. I seem to attract women that are into being dominated sexually. Now, in every other aspect, I'm extremely egalitarian when it comes to how I view women and how I deal with women. I want women to be able to be out in the workplace. As a matter of fact, the woman that I'm involved with now understands my views on marriage, cohabitation. She knows my views on MGTOW, and she doesn't judge me, and I don't judge her. So I don't control her. I don't, try to enforce any kind of traditionalist protector, provider, female role onto her. She knows this. And so, we go out to eat. I pay, then she pays, and I pay, or whatever. But basically, we split the cost of whatever activities it is that we want to do, and we have fun doing it. Things are cool right now. If that changes, I gotta go. But so in every other aspect besides sexually speaking, I'm extremely egalitarian. But when it comes to the bedroom or sexual activity with women, I embrace the dominant role. That's just the way I am, and that's the way it's gonna be. And hopefully we can broach this topic like adults. I consider it a very serious topic and an area where a lot can be learned about men and male sexuality. But so that's the way I choose to express myself with women in terms of my sexuality. And I suppose that the dominant role that I take in terms of sex with women is my way of crushing or repressing. I take an aggressive role. I combat it. And, women seem to like this. So it is what it is. So the whole reason that I'm telling you this is so I can relay this story. We went to a sex store, I guess is what you could call it. And so I wanted to get a pair of handcuffs to use on her. And we were in line. There was these two girls in front of us, and there was this other guy. We heard him talking, and the guy had like a lisp or whatever, and he was effeminate and stuff. His mannerisms were effeminate and whatever. I'm not judging it, but I'm just trying to give you a description of the guy that was in front of us online. You could see it, he wasn't ashamed apparently, so whatever. I don't judge. But he was purchasing a prostate massager, right? For those of you who don't know, I have no interest in this personally, but for those of you who don't know, the prostate is, I guess, an erogenous zone for men, kind of the equivalent of the female G-spot. And so there is an industry of male sex toys, I guess you could call them, that stimulate the prostate. And so I'll leave it to your imagination as to how it's stimulated, but it's not that hard to figure out, right? And he was purchasing it, and the whole time these two girls behind him were laughing, giggling, kind of being really rude about it. And he purchased his toy and left. After he left, they were next in line, and you could hear them, oh, it's gross. Oh, that's disgusting. I can't believe they sell those things. I can't believe people buy them. What a loser, stuff like that. And so I'm an observer, right? I'm not one to confront random strangers on the street, but it really highlighted, I think, how women view sexuality, male sexuality that doesn't involve them. And I think they view it as alien. I think they view it as foreign. And I think they have a hostility to it that really speaks volumes. I think on some level, women's affinity towards effeminate gay men is born out of a desire to control. I mean, they can't control them sexually, right? So they'll control them as a lapdog. Even with heterosexual male sexuality, if you watch porn, you're a loser, right? If you watch porn without women, you're a loser. Every guy knows that at times, and there have been times where I was so oversexed that I didn't even want to have sex with a woman. I just wanted to watch porn, right? And I'll readily admit that, because sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's more convenient, right? And so if a man watches porn without women, he's a loser. If a man would rather pay for sex instead of go through the trouble of courting a woman and getting into a relationship with her and getting access to sex that way, then he's a loser, or he's seen as seedy and kind of part of some sort of seedy underworld, if you will, right? The film American Pimp, which is a very interesting film, opens with a introduction of various people, men and women, that the documentary maker was interviewing, just random people off the street, and they were asked their opinions on pimps, and all of them had this kind of seedy underworld description of what a pimp is, right? And of course, the women were portrayed as victims, and it was portrayed as though the pimp in question was taking advantage of women, when many times the pimp-prostitute relationship is that of a mutual exploitation, just like heterosexual relationships between men and women are such that they often consist of a mutual exploitation. I still remember a scene from the famous movie Casino, in which, or was it Goodfellas? Well, whichever one, where Sharon Stone was Robert De Niro's wife. And this woman was batshit insane and displayed all of the characteristics of what we call the modern toxic woman. And she's cheating on him with, what's his name, Lester, I believe the character was named. I might be wrong on that, but anyway, she's cheating on him with a pimp, right? And Robert De Niro confronts this pimp and has him beat up. And at no point does he lay the responsibility, when he's confronting her in front of Sharon Stone, while his wife was watching, the character who played his wife, Sharon Stone, was watching, and he doesn't lay any of the responsibility on her. He says, you're a pimp, you're disgusting. It's incredible how either male sexuality that doesn't include women, or male sexuality that seems to hold some kind of power over women, is demonized or ridiculed accordingly. Even now, the fact that I've admitted that I have this dominant tendency towards women, sexually speaking, I'm going to be, at some point in time, I'm sure, in the comment section, labeled as having some kind of predatory intention towards women. I don't. Women like being dominated in bed. Women enjoy it. I would never force myself on a woman. I would never force a woman to engage in any kind of sexual activity with me. Right? I mean, frankly, I can't even get off if I tried to force a woman. I couldn't even get off. I mean, I would get no enjoyment out of it. And I think part of the reason why women seek this dominant trait in the bedroom from men is because, well, it's all about power exchange. I've asked several women, because this isn't the first woman in my life who expressed a desire for these traits in the bedroom. And I don't judge, I just ask, well, what is it that gets you off about being dominated in bed? And, almost universally what they say is, it makes me feel safe. It makes me feel controlled, right? And I want to give away my sexual power to a man, right? And I want it taken from me against my will, but not really against her will, because, of course, all of this is consensual. So that's a topic that I want to explore more. The way that women demonize male heterosexuality, that doesn't include them, and male homosexuality, that doesn't include them. Well, any comments and questions are welcome. Thanks for listening.